right, and the music's blaring here at the stadium. Second half weekend doubleheader. Seawolves today are hosting the University of King's College Blue Devils from Halifax. And we are in for a treat.
Well, here we go. We got a three-way battle for the final two playoff spots today. It's going to be decided by this game as well as the Stu and Mount St. Vincent game being played in Fredericton today. So,
well,
it's going to be a really exciting one.
There was a point yesterday where we thought the playoffs were already sewn up, but UKC made a big comeback. They made a big comeback against St. Thomas, down 2-1, scored early in the second half, and then scored late in the half to win 3-2. So, as of right now, we've got the Seawolves sitting at 6-4-1. UKC is at 6-5. St. Thomas is at 5-4-2. Can't get any closer than that.
It does not get any closer than that.
A lot of different combinations. We'll talk about that as the game goes along. But the Seawolves, they've got it in their hands today. I mean, if they take care of business with a tie or a win, they're going through. And then, it'll depend on the results with the St. Thomas Mount St. Vincent game. But regardless, really, really important matchup here today. UNBSJ men came back to tie Mount St. Vincent late in the game yesterday, and that's all they needed to get into the playoffs. They're in.
They're in.
And so they'll be looking, they'll be looking to continue their good play today and take that good play into the playoffs.
Yeah, this last game for them will be really important because, it's really nice to know they're already in. But they want to build good habits, and you don't want a sour taste in your mouth right before.
No, exactly.
ACAA starts. So.
And they're playing against, UKC undefeated. They tied St. Thomas yesterday, allowed the first goal of the year.
Wow.
Against. So they'll certainly be coming out looking to, put their best game on the field going into playoffs as well. So here we go. Seawolves are in their light jerseys today. UKC in their blue, dark blue. And for the first time this season, I don't really see much of a wind indication, so that's a good thing for today, I think.
Yeah, finally a little bit less of a breeze up here.
Game just underway. And again, UKC, they must take a lot of confidence from that comeback win yesterday. They're going to be a confident group out here today, and the Seawolves are going to have to wrestle that confidence from them.
They will, but the Seawolves are going to have a lot of confidence of their own coming into this game. Being the first team to take out an undefeated squad yesterday. So
absolutely.
They should still be riding a high from that game.
That's going to be the first free kick of the game. It's a pretty good location to send across through the box. And that's exactly what she did.
Not bad delivery there, just couldn't get the redirection they wanted.
A little give and go there between Wynn. It looks like Carnes, the holder of a big goal yesterday for the Seawolves.
Huge goal for the rookie yesterday to open things up.
Kimmins starting in the back here today for the Seawolves. That's Sophie Hunt in the middle. It's UKC ball. Just underway here, couple minutes in. Soccer's an interesting sport. It starts out slow, and there's a gradual build-up as the game goes along. And by the 80th minute, it's just frenzy activity, right? One team's trying to tie it, or midfield play here so far. Both teams just trying to get the feel of the ball and make some passes, get into the game. Well, the broadcast player of the game is back in goal for the Seawolves.
Back in goal, Brzezicki had 2 really nice saves yesterday.
Wow, she absolutely saved everything.
Yeah, a sprawling save to keep it scoreless, and also had a really nice double save kind of in the first half. Had a dangerous shot put on net, and then took care of the rebound right after.
Well, she's given the Seawolves some quality goaltending.
Oh, there's Carnes up the left
Look
sideline.
at Carnes fly. Can she ever fly down there? There's that left foot that was so lethal on the goal yesterday. Couldn't quite get that one in there. UKC, we talked about Mount St. Vincent having that long drive yesterday. UKC just coming from Fredericton, an easy drive today for them. Unless they came last night. Sometimes teams go to the destination so they don't have to travel at all the next day. Game was in Fredericton yesterday. They probably came to St. John because the game, well, I guess the men's game would be at 3:15, finish at 5 something, but still plenty of time to drive down.
Yeah, this is definitely
save the drive this morning.
Probably a more well-rested squad than we saw yesterday.
Kimmins knocks it off. She takes a lot of the throw-ins for the Seawolves. Hawthorne putting pressure on the ball as usual. Sophie Hunt, she has a lot of skills. And she's hit 2 of the longest goals I've seen. Not this year, but last year she was taken out hard there.
Yeah, Hawthorne.
Trinity Adams came in hard, and
I think it's going to be a free kick.
Sophie Hunt excels at these. With her on the ball, this is going to be a dangerous play for UKC. They're building a wall here. Two players in the wall for UKC. One backed off. Como decided to go back and mark up.
Sends it on net. In
that was close.
The box. That's a well-placed.
That was close.
Well-placed free kick there by Sophie Hunt. Couldn't find a head, but
Nickel Penman came up with that save. That's a nice ball out to midfield. Intercepted by the Seawolves.
Anderson trying to play it downfield for Hunt to be out for a Blue Devils throw.
So the Seawolves have generated one good chance there so far. UKC still looking for their opportunity. Como's racing down there, but guess what?
There's Brzezicki.
Oh, nice step up by Wynn there.
Away to Hunt, looking downfield for Hawthorne. Hawthorne sent it at the back. It's going to be a goal kick. I thought
that might have deflected off the defender, but obviously the lines didn't see it that way. They're a lot closer to it than we are, so.
Carnes was almost able to float that one right over the defense.
Well, Scarlett McDonald almost got that ball. Como down the wing. Seawolves continue to exert a lot of pressure on defense. I think that's one of the best traits of this team, their ability to shut down space and time and not give the other team an opportunity to get settled.
Yeah, they play good defense for a full 90 minutes.
The thing that's come along for the Seawolves in the last 4, 5, 6 games is their offense.
It's Anderson.
Oh, that's good defending.
Taken away there by McKill. Here's Hawthorne. Hawthorne now, or to win, puts a shot up on goal. I believe it was on goal, looked close.
Nickel Penman.
Directed the post, but Nickel Penman with a nice grab.
From Hamilton, Ontario.
Hamilton, Ontario.
Yep, third year for the Blue Devils. Speaking of Ontario, we welcome everyone that's watching from out of province. And there's a lot of them. Ontario, Nova Scotia, of course, with UKC playing. Alberta, BC. A lot of different provinces represented in this game. So we're 12 minutes in. Both teams still really trying to sort things out. Get a feel for what their they want to do.
Come the Blue Devils.
That was good speed by Adams going down the wing.
It was kind of the first opportunity the Blue Devils had to work down in their zone. But here's another chance for them. Approaching the box, but good piece of defending there.
There's Hannah McDonald.
Race to the end line, but can't beat out that pass. Be a goal kick for Brzezicki. Brzezicki taking her time to set up. Cleared away by Huen. Karn sends it downfield. Just right at the back for a goal kick for the Blue Devils. Here's a chance now. Oh, what a clearance there. That's when the ball sails behind the net. Blue Devils had Brzezicki beat there. Good presence of mind by Avea Huen. No quit on the play, clears the ball away from the goal line.
"16 minutes in, no score." If you just joined us, Blue Devils are in their dark blue uniforms, white trim. Seawolves in their light uniforms, black trim.
Almost a chance there. Brzezicki grabs that one again.
UKC have done a good job so far clogging it up. Seawolves not really getting the opportunity to move the ball as well as they would like or they normally do. There's Adams again. She's been a significant part of the lineup here today so far for the UKC Blue Devils.
Here's Carnes on the outside. She wins a corner kick.
Well, every corner kick is dangerous. Every corner kick's a potential goal, so this is a big chance for the Seawolves. All players in except 2. That's good clearance by UKC.
That ball was won there by Lovegrove. She chased that down.
UKC has scored 14 goals in 11 games, but they've only given up 9. So they give up less than a goal a game. Seawolves, on the other hand, they've scored 18, but they've given up 14. So UKC actually has a better differential than the Seawolves. They have +5. Seawolves are +4. But the Seawolves are that 1 point ahead of them. That could make a big difference in this final run for playoffs. St. Thomas, who were 5-2-2, they've lost 2 in a row. They're 5-4-2 now, and they find themselves out of the playoff spot when they were actually in 3rd place heading into this weekend.
Things can really shift up in a hurry.
So things have shifted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seawolves have won 2 in a row. UKC, of course, they won that big one at St. Thomas yesterday. But UKC have the 3rd lowest goals against average in the conference. So
shout out to our Booster Juice Athletes of the Week. For women's soccer, Jordan Hawthorne. For men's soccer, Tristan Burnham.
player to watch today for the UKC Blue Devils, Annika Power. She has 4 goals this year. Trinity Adams has 2 goals. So, of course, we'll watch number 9, Power, to see how the Seawolves contain her. UNBSJ, of course. Charlotte McDonald with 7 goals this year. It's a great season for her. Grace Gordon, who's not playing today, has 3 goals. As does Haley Coleman, who's also not in the lineup today. So it looks like Scarlett McDonald might be called on to do the bulk of the scoring for the Seawolves today. Although we did talk about yesterday, the one thing that's changed for the Seawolves this year is their ability to have a little bit of secondary scoring from players, right? So.
Yeah. More
With
all-around
with Coleman
contribution.
and Gordon out of the lineup, maybe someone else will step into that role and do some scoring. But UKC certainly haven't shown that they can. They're not a big scoring team.
Free kick whistle for the Blue Devils.
In fact, the UKC team has the second fewest goals this year in the league. So they're 6th in scoring, but third in defensive play. So they rely on their defense to win games. It doesn't really matter what you rely on if you're winning games.
Yeah.
Right? That's the name of the game, to win the games. But we know one thing. They scored 3 of their 14 goals yesterday against Stu. So, maybe their offense is starting to take hold and get familiar with each other, and because it's a good day's out for 3 goals in soccer.
Yeah.
On any given day, that's a good offensive day. So.
Quick substitution there for the Seawolves coming into the game was Ashley Carpentier, number 23. Headed out was Isabel Malutin. So almost 25 minutes into this one here, we're still scoreless.
Which is not surprising today.
No.
Not surprising at all. Anderson moving that ball forward.
Here's Adams. Power with it now. I'm going to say she was brought down by Hawthorne, so it'll be another free kick for the Blue Devils.
Proudfoot takes that, and it goes all the way to Rizicki. Not much giving here. 25 minutes in, 26 minutes in, not much. Well, so far this game has a Sunday morning, early afternoon pace to it, doesn't it? But we both know that pace is going to pick up as this game goes along.
They will. Both these teams are just waiting for their opportunity to strike.
They are. And
they're happy to keep the ball in the midfield for now.
For now. And as this game goes along, UKC, obviously, they need to win this game. Unless, of course, St. Thomas loses.
And that takes care of business for both these teams.
That's right.
Yeah.
You have Mount St. Vincent and Holland battling it out for the top spot. And then it's just a matter of who's going to finish where, because
here's an opportunity. I think the Blue Devils knew that was going to be whistled offside.
I don't think there's a team out there that wants to really play Mount St. Vincent first game. I mean, they lost yesterday, but they're still the team, a team that's formidable, right?
Unless you're St. John, you know.
Well, then you feel like you can beat them because you just did, right?
Yeah,
so,
but that sometimes can be the hardest matchup as well, because the team that once was undefeated will, they'll be gunning to.
They'll be ready. They'll be ready
Yeah.
for the team that beat them. That's right. I guess the old story in the playoffs is, if you're going to win the championship, you have to win all the games.
Yeah.
No matter who you're playing, doesn't really matter who you're playing, you just have to win. Because eventually you're going to be playing the best team anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to happen. All teams that are going to be in the women's playoffs are good teams in and of themselves, right? So regardless of who you're playing, you're going to be playing a good team. UKC working it in slowly.
Ooh, bouncing ball. Another offside flag.
That was
UKC doing a better job here, generating a couple more chances for themselves. Maybe not dangerous ones, but continuing to apply pressure to that St. John defense. Almost into the 30th minute here, no score still. Berzecki launches it down the field.
Adams looked shaken up after that header that she took. Might have rolled an ankle or something, but she seems okay there now. So. Seawolves with the one threat off that corner kick or free kick, but that's been about it for either team. That's good playing at the back. Kimmins doing a good job at the back today.
This could be a bit of a chance here. Ooh, a run out of bounds. Good defending there to limit the corner opportunity.
Seawolves showing their depth today with Gordon and Coleman out, two of their top players for sure. Palomino did a good job clearing that ball away from trouble.
Power trying to keep it in on the.
Yeah, Powers moved to the right side.
Yeah.
She was playing left earlier. They've switched sides. Coach may have seen something that would give her an advantage on that side.
Long free kick, top of the box.
Palomino.
There by Palomino.
Sure.
Could have been dangerous.
Blocked it and then sent it out, prevented the corner kick.
Well done.
Great job on defense. UKC good at working in tight spaces. Continue to send it behind the backs of the Seawolves. See if they can get that one ball behind them.
Battle forward is Quinn and Lovegrove, but Blue Devils will take it again. No whistle there on what may have been a handball.
Well, we're 35 minutes in to this game, and most of the game has been played in the center of the field. Or close to it. UKC showing their defensive prowess. Seawolves missing 2 of their top 3 scorers. So I think offense will be a little tougher to come by today.
Here's Hawthorne. She wins a free kick there. Good aggressive defending. Jordis Hawthorne there.
Hawthorne's really coming into her own. She's we're mentioning her more and more often on the broadcast, and she's really developed this year for the Seawolves. First-year player. And a smart move there by Nickel Penman.
Let that one
Just
go
let it go. Get the shape set up. And there's another ball. Palomino up for the task. Wynn decides to send it all the way back to Brzezicki.
down, was looking for McDonald. It's on the foot of Carnes. Chase for it.
I think this one's going
Hawthorne
to... No, it's slowing down. She might be able to get it.
tries to beat it out. And
nice job of shielding for, I think that was Adams on the shielding. Seawolves would not be unhappy with a tie. That would put them into the playoffs. UKC cannot afford a tie today.
Quinn breaks
Again,
that
unless Stu loses. I mean, you said it earlier. If Stu loses, that takes care of business. So if Stu won the game, that would push them to 6-4-2. If UKC and St. John tied, it would be Stu and UNB St. John in the playoffs. UKC would be eliminated by 1 point.
Here's Hawthorne. He's going to send it up to Hunt. Some good aggressive defending going back and forth now at the midfield. Both teams battling hard for possession here as we roll up past the 40th minute.
Proudfoot with the free kick. Brought down by Carnes and
Brzecki clears it away. It's McDonald. Sends it in, and Brzecki makes a save in front of the net. I don't know if that was on goal or perhaps going to hit the post, but nevertheless, Brzecki there to cover. Brzecki sends one sky high. Carnes gets it. She's going to send it downfield. McDonald giving chase. Shields off a Blue Devil, and the Devils are able to clear it right back off a Seawolf through the back line for a goal kick.
shoulder to shoulder there with McDonald.
Free kick awarded there for that bump on McDonald.
I believe it was Proudfoot there. They went shoulder to shoulder, but the referee said, no, this is going to be an SJ free kick.
It's going to be...
And this is Sophie Hunt's range right here.
Yeah.
This is her range. Maybe a little bit closer than this, but she has scored goals from close to this range before.
And There's a shot on net. Oh, hits the crossbar.
Off the crossbar. She just knows how to place those shots.
And the header goes clear back over the goal. Trying to follow up on that rebound, but what an attempt there by Sophie
little bit
Hunt.
lower, that ball's in the net.
Yeah, about a foot away from opening things up here in the 42nd minute of this game.
Sophie Hunt just has the feel from that distance. She just knows how to hit that ball, so it's just coming, floating under the bar. That's a hard save for a goalkeeper. I mean, Adams sends one down to Brzezicki.
St. John fans looking for a foul there, but a handball whistled before. Going to be a long free kick for the Blue Devils. We'll like to play it short. What a card given.
It looks like to Sophie Hunt.
Yep.
Seawolf's going to get a card there. Well, as they get ready for this free kick, we just want to take a moment to thank our season sponsors, Centaur Atlantic, Lester Trophies, Domino's, UNB Associated Alumni, One Team Sports, Select Printing and Signs, Booster Juice, East Point location, and Culligan. So we are real close to the end of the first half. We do want to give a shout out to our graduating student athletes.
Grad games today.
Grad game today.
Yeah, a little more.
Haley Coleman, Isabel Malutin, Lindsay Anderson, Emma Kelly, and Sophie Hunt. On the women's squad, we'll talk about the men a little bit later. Oh, we can mention them right now. Callan Lamb, Abe Godora, Pedro Pintos, and Jose Sandoval.
Yeah, congratulations to those athletes. And
well, you know what?
They're great careers that they've had here at UNB St.
Yeah,
John.
that's right. You know, I think they'll appreciate playing even more when they're done for a year or two. They'll say that that was worthwhile. That was good. I'm glad I did that.
Power's going to break away. And just beats Brzezicki.
Oh, this is right at the end of the half. Just before the end of the half. Referee is going to blow the whistle right off the He's going to blow the whistle right off the
So it's Annika Power for the UKC Blue Devils opening scoring. Right in the 45th minute, 46th minute.
Well, we did say Power was the one to watch for the UKC. That's a heartbreaker. It won't be long before he blows this whistle down for the end of the half. If UKC, boy, that's a big goal for UKC.
Here's McDonald though. If she can outrun this, maybe a chance. And
here's the thing.
Play whistle down.
Here's the thing. UKC, their fate is in their hands today as well.
It is.
If they win this game, they're in the playoffs. And so that is a huge, huge goal for them.
Seawolves need to be careful here as well. It's a really important game for both these teams here today, and After conceding a goal, they need to make sure they stay disciplined and
Exactly.
don't give out don't pick up any unnecessary cards or anything with playoffs looming.
Yeah,
next
exactly. That's right. Yeah,
Devils
that's a
just
tough
kick
one
it
to
right
give
out of
up
play.
right
That's
at
the
the end,
halftime whistle.
but Power got the breakaway, made it count, and you know, good credit to her for finishing that one off.
So your score, UKC Blue Devils 1, UNB St. John Seawolves 0 after 45 minutes. We're going to take a short break here. We'll get back for second half action to see who's playoff bound here in the women's ACAA soccer.
Well, here we are. We're back. Well, the final regular season half for the
45
Seawolves
more
and
minutes.
for UKC. This is it for both teams. Season ends today. Both teams hoping that they're going to be in the playoffs. We've got 2 spots open for 3 teams. St. Thomas, they're looking to jump into the playoffs as well. They need a win today against Mount St. Vincent. Tall task, but the Seawolves beat them yesterday, beat Mount St. Vincent yesterday, so St. Thomas is hoping to repeat that today. Well, the first half was quiet until 20 seconds before the half
Great
ended.
about the whistle.
And Annika Power
Broke through and got a little bit of room, and
I believe that's her 5th goal of the year. She broke through for the first-year player, 5 goals. I think it was 5. I think I mentioned 4 earlier when we started the broadcast. I want to double-check that. Yes, that was her 5th goal of the season. And we have an update. We have an update from St. Thomas. Mount St. Vincent leading 1-0 over St. Thomas.
that game at the same start time as well.
So if
they're probably just kicking off the second half as well in Fredericton.
So if things stayed the same as they are right now, if UKC hung on to win this game 1-0, they would finish at 7-5 on the season. Seawolves would finish at 6-5-1, and if Mount St. Vincent hung on to beat St. Thomas, the Tommies would finish at 5-5-2. So UKC would finish 3rd, the Seawolves would finish 4th.
So still a lot to be decided here. He's Proudfoot with it.
Well, one thing we statistically know, the Blue Devils are very stingy on defense. This is their 12th game of the year, and up to this point, they've only allowed 9 goals. So the Seawolves definitely have their work cut out for them in this half to try to equalize this game. It's not going to be easy, but we saw what the Seawolves could do yesterday. But without Haley, and Grace in the lineup, I don't quite see the same offensive. What's the word I'm looking for?
Just not quite the same, maybe offensive push that we're used to seeing.
Yeah,
from them.
push is a good word. And that's a
and
nice
this is gonna
through
be a
ball.
good
Oh,
opportunity.
she kind of tripped up on that one.
Could have
Great.
been a wide open runway right to the goal, but couldn't handle the pass, and Brzezicki's able to grab that one. Send it back down the field.
That was a nice through ball.
It really was. That's an opportunity that if the Seawolves are able to capitalize later in the game, that the Blue Devils will definitely want back.
Well, the Blue Devils, if they make the playoffs, they can credit their second half comeback yesterday against St. Thomas. And of course, if they continue to play well in this game, that's 2 games in a row that they would, they were, hard pressed, but Seawolves take control here. McDonald.
Was looking for Carnes. Carnes tries to take it away. The Devils will throw this one back in.
Well, there's not much to choose between playing the first place team and playing the second place team, Mount St. Vincent. Oh, it's another ball through. That one's offside.
Still a midfield battle here to start the half. Both teams fighting for possession.
Holland College with only 1 loss this season as well. So I'm not sure it's going to make any difference who plays who in the playoffs. The top 2 teams both have 1 loss. And so not much to choose there. Sophie Hunt. This range is a little bit harder for her, for sure. It's a tough range.
Oh,
but it's
right on, directly on goal.
Right on goal. Forces a save. Forces a good save. It was right at her, but she still has to handle it cleanly. No rebounds.
Sometimes all that traffic in front of the net,
which she
make an easy save difficult.
Yeah, Nickel Penman handled that easily. No rebound on that play. Gobbled it up. UKC with a couple of early through balls that could have resulted in.
Looks like we're going to have a substitution in the game here as well. The Seawolves coming in is going to be Emma Kelly.
Emma Kelly coming in. Of course, she's one of the graduates for the Seawolves. Number 12.
Number 22, Charlotte Timons entering the game.
I should say number 14.
Hebb sends it downfield. That's headed out the back. That's going to be a corner kick.
Headed out the back door by Proudfoot.
That was good chase by McDonald. Gave Proudfoot no option but to.
No, it was a dangerous ball, so she needed to get that thing out of trouble.
And here's Hunt to take the corner. Nice ball. Redirected, but wide of the goal.
UKC play a quiet game, kind of lull you to sleep.
Yeah,
but they don't give very many. They don't give a lot of good scoring chances against them. That's for sure. The Seawolves have not had what you would call a great scoring chance yet this game.
No great chances, and UKC doing a good job at just playing their game and capitalizing once they get themselves a good opportunity.
We're already 11 minutes into this half, and it seems to be floating along. UKC do a nice job with the short passes. Nothing real fancy. They just play a good brand of soccer. Seawolves so far in this game don't quite have the high energy they had against Mount St. Vincent yesterday. There's been a drop in their energy level today, I think. I'm thinking mostly of attacking. Yesterday they were explosive on the attack.
They were.
Today I'm not seeing that explosiveness. And again, two of the best players are out of the lineup, and that makes a big difference, right? Just changes things up. Players that are in there are doing a good job, but just not quite as explosive. And like you were saying yesterday, a young lineup, gaining lots of experience here.
Yeah, these are important minutes going towards the playoffs, and when you have the opportunity to build, you want to take advantage of it. So these minutes are important here in this half, not just for the wins and losses in the standings, but for development as well, for confidence going into playoffs.
Absolutely, yeah.
For ironing out any wrinkles that you might have left in your game plan.
UKC just continue to pound the back line of the Seawolves. But Anderson, no, it's not Anderson.
It's Emma Como.
Yeah, Emma.
She's still with it.
I thought that was number 7 there, but it's 11.
Right to Kelly. Kelly's going to send it down the sideline. Just rolls out.
So UKC, if they can hold on, they're going to squeeze into the playoffs. And if they win this game, they finish 3rd. So they go from the start of the weekend being on the outside of the playoffs to finishing 3rd. That's how close this conference is.
Yeah, and what a weekend for them if they're able to hold on. Taking down the Tommies in a comeback thriller, and thus far playing a very solid.
Nicole Penman, She's been solid in the net for UKC. I like about her, no rebounds.
Never.
She's got the good hands that can gobble those balls up, and UKC are moving the ball around really well here in the second half. A lot of good support off the ball for them. Players are finding their rhythm here. We do want to mention in between the women's and the men's game, we're going to have our honoring the graduate student athletes. And on the women's team, we've got Haley Coleman, Isabel Malutin, Lindsay Anderson, Emma Kelly, and Sophie Hunt. And on the men's team, we've got Kellen Lamb, Abe Godora, Pedro Pintos, and Jose Sandoval. So
lots of graduating athletes.
Going to be missing all of them, all those players next year. But this year's not over yet. Men's team have already punched their ticket to the playoffs. Women hoping to do the same thing. If Mount St. Vincent can hold on and beat St. Thomas, that will happen. Women will be in the playoffs, or the UNBSJ women, regardless of the outcome of this game.
Heb's going to try to run this one down. Roll just out of play. The Seawolves throw, regardless. Oh, Como. Takes a foul there. Going to be a free kick for the Blue Devils.
Blue Devils are doing their best to try to send those balls just behind the Seawolves' backs. Just get the sense that the Blue Devils have played this tight defensive game all year. They look really comfortable playing this game.
They're doing a really good job.
Well,
sometimes this game, they're just not overextending at all.
No, they're not. Sometimes you see teams, they've got the lead, but they're panicking with the lead. And, you know, sometimes you just say, oh, it's just a matter of time before this game's going to be I'm not getting that sense at all.
It really looks like, just a matter of time before this game's over. To be honest, the way they're playing
I
defense
don't get
right
the
now.
sense at all that the Seawolves are threatening in any way. However, as we've seen before, it only takes one.
It only takes one,
especially with Scarlett McDonald up there. We've seen it time and time again where she gets one chance and she puts it in.
Good takeaway there by Huen.
But they're
Just to find Hawthorne.
UKC are marking McDonald tight. They are staying close to her. It's pretty close to a double team almost.
She really hasn't even had many chances to touch the ball.
No,
honest,
and UKC they know that McDonald's the one that can do the damage, right? And Looks like we've got a substitution coming.
You know, that's probably a big part of their game plan as well, I know.
Sophie Hunt's going out. Graduating player, Sophie Hunt.
Well, we got a score update from Fredericton right now. St. Thomas has scored to make it 1-1.
Number 2's coming in for the Seawolves.
UNB St. John substitution in the 65th minute. Leading the game, number 10, Sophie Hunt. Entering the game.
Well, Hunt performed well today for the Seawolves.
She did really well. A couple good chances.
Real good,
some
real
set
good
plays.
free kicks. A couple of really good corner kicks. Great game for Sophie Hunt today.
Really, she's had some of the better opportunities that the Seawolves have had all day.
Anderson just taking it right into the box.
Brought down, and no whistle for her efforts, but
Wow,
close call there.
that was a close call. So you're saying that the Tommies have tied it up with the
up in Fredericton. Yeah.
tied things up in Fredericton. Well, that let's take a look and see what that does. Well, if the Tommies remain tied, that would be their third tie of the year. 5 wins, 4 losses, and 3 ties.
That would still put St. John through. I
So
believe.
that would that's 18 points. Seawolves would have 19 points. 6 wins, 4 losses. Well, there would be 6 if they
things continue today.
continue. That would be 6-5-1. But that's 19 points. The Tommies would have 18 points. So the Tommies really need to win that game if UKC continues to beat the Seawolves.
That might be a card there. Yeah, Anderson's going to pick up a card there. Got to be careful.
So lots of variations going on here.
Yeah, just I think she picked up that card there. Just a little too aggressive on that play.
One thing we
Might
can
have got a little bit of the jersey of Basilo.
One thing we can say for sure is if UKC wins this game, they're in.
They're in. Win. And
They're in. Because they'll have seven wins, 21 points.
And time's ticking. We're up to the 68th minute here. Time's been flying by in the second half.
Time has been flying by. The UKC defense is stifling the Seawolves. Really, they're not getting many chances here in the second half. They didn't have many in the first. So,
and we get a substitution here for UKC. Nicolau is heading out. And number 20, Erica Cox is headed in.
Erica Cox, second-year player, giving them some fresh legs. She's playing the fullback position, so that's a defensive
downfield.
replacement. Cox looks like she's playing on the wing today. Right wing, right midfield wing, but listed as a fullback. But that could be a defensive replacement, and just like in baseball,
Yep.
where you bring in your top defensive players to finish it off. Obviously, if she's played fullback, she's used to playing defense, so she'll definitely not get caught as a midfield winger. She'll be back. Well, she
defending there
almost
by Heb. Sent back in the box, and Brzezicki will get there. So we have another score update from Fredericton. That game around 70th, 75th minute. The Stu Tommies have now taken a 3-1 lead.
That's shocking. That's shocking. Shocking result from St. Thomas. So that definitely changes things for the Seawolves. They really need to get on their game here and tie this thing up.
Now they have 20 minutes essentially to tie this game.
Wow.
So apologies, actually.
It's
There was a score bug error.
3-1 for Mount St. Vincent.
It's actually 3-1 for Mount St. Vincent. They had the score temporarily up on the wrong side when we had our stats people checking for us. But it's actually 3-1 Mount St. Vincent. So if any Seawolves fans were listening to us on the broadcast biting their nails, you can stop now.
Yeah,
for a little bit.
Yeah,
take a bit of a deep breath.
That's right. It looks that looks like Mount St. Vincent's going to take that one, I think. Down up 3-1. I can't see them.
Yeah.
I can't see them losing a 2-goal lead.
So apologies if we scared any Seawolves fans.
Stranger things have happened, though. You never know, but that's a big lead for the first place team. So
yeah. Well, we saw MSVU score 2 goals in about 2 or 3 minutes yesterday in the men's game to open the second half. So anything can happen, and it can happen quickly when it does. But for now, we still have about 18 more minutes plus some stoppage of this game to go, and the Seawolves looking to tie things up.
Yeah, that's right. Regardless of the St. Thomas game, the Seawolves are still looking to tie this thing up. They want to get the equalizer and finish off the season on a great note.
Giving chase. That's broken up.
Well, we know one thing. 4 good teams are going into the playoffs on the women's side.
Yeah.
And we know that on the men's side as well. So, that one was passed to the keeper. Repontier.
We've spoken a lot about UKC's defense today, but even the Seawolves have a lot to be happy about with their defensive efforts thus far. I mean, only conceding that 1 goal in the final seconds of the first half, and still a couple chances for Kings, but really nothing much through this game. It was that one good opportunity that they capitalized on. And
I agree with you on that.
Other than that, both teams have just played stellar defense tonight, or pardon me, this afternoon. I'm used to doing some evening games. Now that it gets dark earlier, everything feels like the evening.
Based on the scores as they stand right now, UKC they'll vault from 5th place to 3rd place. They were in 5th place to start this weekend with
what a weekend for
it didn't look bright for them playing against St. Thomas and the Seawolves. But kudos to the Blue Devils for a really solid weekend here.
This is the most important time of the year to peak. It's playoff time, and they certainly seem to be, at least in this final weekend of regular season play.
Of course, everyone should stick around. Everyone should stick around and get ready to watch the UKC men having a tremendous season. Seawolves have had a great season themselves, so that it's going to be a great game.
Yeah. And for the men, it's nice that they've already secured their playoff spot, and it was important to do so earlier in the season because the Blue Devils men's team is just so strong this year that you did not want to have to leave that up to Chance. Brzezinski,
Another
save there.
easy save from Brzezinski.
Yeah. But that Blue Devils men's team this year is so strong that you would not want to leave clinching the playoffs up to the last game, especially if you were facing them. This is a really good opportunity.
No, that would have been a tough go.
Yeah. This is a good chance for the men's team to kind of see where they stand and have one good. It's nice to play your final game
against the top team.
Yeah.
You want to play the top team because you want to see where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to win the game. You do not want to. That's right. You do not want to come out with a flat effort just because you've already clinched. No, you want to come out and say, no, we're a team to be reckoned with here.
Yeah.
And if you're going to play us in the first round of the playoffs, you better be ready because we're ready. That's right.
That's the message.
The last team you want to play is us. Mm-hmm. If you're the Seawolves, that's what you're hoping to convey this afternoon.
Yeah.
Well, we're 76 minutes in, and UKC has played a textbook defensive game here. They just seem to be shutting down all the lanes. They're supporting each other well off the ball. They're passing well. They're doing all the little things well.
Yeah, doing all the little things well and just remaining in control. Up 1-0 here in the 77th minute.
There just seems to be a lot of tight, close battles here, and UKC is just clogging it up enough that the Seawolves just cannot even get the passing going.
Yeah, it looks like it's been quite difficult even to string together a few passes and get into anything that they want to do offensively. Another substitution it's going to be for the UKC Blue Devils. Headed out is going to be number 18, Georgia Gavis. Checking in, maybe number 21, Alexia Tacos.
Kern's going one-on-one.
Kelly DeComo. Play whistle dead.
University of King's College substitution on the 78th minute. Leaving the game, number 18, Georgia Gavas. Entering the game, number 21, Alexia Tacos.
Beautiful day to play here. Nicest day we've had probably since early in the season.
Yeah. Warmed back up first a little bit. Enough to be able to enjoy the outdoors and at least not freeze in the bleachers like some fans were doing a few weeks ago. This is the Seawolves diehard fans were out that weekend, but it was pretty chilly.
Yeah, as they say, that weekend we found out who the friends were, right?
Yeah.
Because only the diehards were out here. Friends and family, and that's it. Nice crowd today, though. Gathering here as the men get ready to play.
Yeah.
It's going to be a real treat, the men's game. That's this has been a tight defensive battle, this one. Not a lot of room on either side. By UKC, I mean, tremendous job on defense. Seawolves haven't even got close to the
Another
nickel penman
substitution.
this half. Well,
So Emma Como's headed out, and Nora Oikel's coming in.
so
UNB St. John substitution in the 81st minute. Leaving the game, number 11, Isabel Malutin. Entering the game, number 21, Nora Oikel.
okay, so Oikel's in, Malutin's out. It was probably the last regular season home minutes of Malutin as it was for Hunt earlier. So nice to see her. Do so well for the Seawolves during her career.
Very well done.
Very good player, as was Hunt. And
When they got numbers. Oh, launches one from distance. I think had numbers there on the sideline, but elected to go for the longer shot, and Brzezicki handles it.
so I wonder if the Seawolves know what the score is in St. Thomas. Probably not. Which is probably a good thing. Keeps
Yeah.
them playing hard. Keeps them trying to get this tie. Well, full marks to UKC this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot to be
I
proud
mean,
of.
they looked like their season was over, down 2-1 to St. Thomas yesterday in the second half. Came back,
And never looked
scored a
back,
goal to
be
tie it,
honest.
scored
Yeah.
a goal to win it late in the game, and then today come out just an unbelievable defensive effort against the Seawolves. And Power took advantage of, really, I would say that was the only chance UKC's had in this game.
Yeah, the only real golden opportunities that they've had, they've capitalized on. A few dangerous plays here and there, a couple bouncing balls, but Brzezicki's been able to handle everything else pretty
Yeah,
easily today.
yeah.
But well done to Power and the Blue Devils to capitalize there.
Well, if you're UKC, you're certainly taking a lot of confidence into the playoffs from this weekend.
Yeah, definitely some momentum that they're going to want to build on. The 83rd minute here.
One thing you notice about UKC, they have lots of players on the ball or near the ball. A lot of support off the ball. So they have the player that's
Here's Kearns. Plays it into the box and knocked away again. Anderson giving chase. Pick back up. Swarm of blue shirts. Knocked at the back line. That'll be a corner kick. Late opportunity for the Seawolves.
Well, the men tied Mount St. Vincent last night, late in the game. See if the women can do it today.
Here's Kearns.
And she's going right foot. She scored a beauty of a goal yesterday on her left foot.
Bouncing ball in.
That could have been That could have been a dangerous ball had the UKC player not gotten a foot on that.
Yeah.
That could have gone right hard through the box.
It's another free kick. Couple all right chances. Heb's going to take it. So little two-player wall to shoot over for Heb. Gets it into the box. Anderson cleared out again.
Yeah, they've got support on defense.
Sent back in.
This is
Bouncer.
it.
Opportunity.
And
Taken
taken away.
from Carpenter.
Oh, that's a beautiful ball down the wing.
Lamino knocks it out. Here's Carnes now with some room to operate on the sideline.
She's taking her space, too. If they're giving it to her, she's taking it.
Walks it all the way down. Heb.
Look at that. Look at that positioning. Great positioning.
Broken up in the box and roll out.
Been really impressed with Basillo today. She has great positioning in there as the center mid.
He's broken up a lot of passes today.
Basillo, if we're talking player of the game, or broadcast players of the game, for me, the player of the game for UKC would be Basillo. I just like the way she's controlled the middle of the field.
Yeah. Done very
And
well,
has worked extremely hard. Like she's hard on the ball. Great passing. Really good anticipation. That would be my broadcast player of the game. How about you for UKC? Any other ideas on that?
UKC, I think, with the few chances they've had today, you got to give credit to Power for finishing off that play. But Basillo again was really impressive throughout with her play on both ends of the ball. To be honest, whether that's in transition, being able to make really good breakout passes to her teammates, or defensively just being the menace that she's been all afternoon.
Looks like Power's going out.
Defending the ball really well.
And we've got
the board saying number 12 headed in. Should be Callie Germain.
But
McDonald, just not enough on it. Oh, and she would love that one back.
yeah, she would like that one back. Well, we're a couple minutes away from the
few minutes away from the end of regulation here. And Seawolves had two of their best chances of the night or the day there.
Yeah, but look at that solid setup for UKC. It'll be awfully hard to penetrate that. UKC maintains their shape really, really well on defense.
They do.
It's going to be a hard team to beat in the playoffs. They're if they win this, they'll have won 7 of their 12 games. So they're right in the hunt as well for the championship. Yeah, support everywhere.
Flag there.
Off the ball for UKC. great job supporting each other. Always goal side. Well, we're now at the 90th, close to the 90th minute here of
still waiting for, here we go, and the officials have indicated 2 minutes of extra time here, so
2 minutes is not a lot of time, but
no.
it's enough time to score a goal. So the Seawolves are hoping that it's going to be enough time to score a goal.
They win the ball back here in the sideline. And immediately cleared away by the Blue Devils once again.
Yeah. And
it's going to gather it.
And she's going to have a go.
Strike sent out the back, so Brzezicki.
But it means that Brzezicki needs to get this ball down the field quickly. No time to waste here now for the Seawolves. And that's out. That's going to be she's going to throw that ball right into the corner, just like that.
Palomino knocks it out.
This ball is going to go down to the corner as well, and they're going to hold it in there for the rest of this game. We're going to try to anyway. Yeah. Okay. Well, they were hoping to get control of that ball and just hold it,
kill some clock
down by the corner flag. But either way, it's another long haul for the Seawolves to get the ball down to the. That's a ball that could do it. That could do it for the UKC.
Probably about a minute left here. And a lot of distance.
Yeah, if that. He's looking at his watch now. We're looking at about 20 seconds. And the ball has not come out of the Seawolves end.
And there we go. The final whistle. Kings College bench erupts. They know that they have clinched their spot.
They know they're in. They looked at all of the scenarios
playoffs
last night. They are in third spot. That is now locked up for them. And as of the last update, Mount St. Vincent was leading Stu 3-1. So that would mean the Seawolves would be in as well. So anyway, we have to leave it at that for now. But UKC, full credit for a tremendous defensive effort out there tonight or today.
Fantastic weekend as a whole for them as they win 2 huge games to clinch their spot in the playoffs. So
absolutely, and of course we have this graduating athletes ceremony coming up. Haley Coleman from the women's team, Isabel Malutin, Lindsay Anderson, Emma Kelly, and Sophie Hunt. And from the men's team, we've got Kellen Lamb, Abe Gadora, Pedro Pintos, and Jose Sandoval. And so just a great day for games today. The men's game will be coming up after the grad ceremony. And congratulations to UKC Blue Devils for a real good weekend that launched them into the playoffs. And that'll be it for us for now.
So I'd just like to take a moment to thank our season partners before we wrap things up here. Centaur Products, Atlantic Lester's Trophies, Domino's Pizza, UNB Associated Alumni, One Team Sports Group, Select Printing and Signs, East Point Booster Juice, and our great friend Lee, and Culligan Water. Folks, thank you for tuning in to this ACAA broadcast of women's soccer. Tune in for the men's game shortly after the grad game ceremonies.